Hello, I'm Nina Goradia. I'm a Somatic Experiencing practitioner, and I'm here today to talk about the stories that we tell ourselves. So think about, I'm sure we all know somebody who's been telling you the same story about their lives for many years. And it's not something where I'm trying to judge this person or blame. We've all done this. But just notice how the actual telling of the story may not seem to free this person in the way that they hope. Maybe they seem that they're stuck somewhere, or maybe we all have something that we're stuck, no matter how much we're telling the story. And so if this is something that's happening for you, I have an idea that I'd like to share, and I'd love to know how this may work for you if you try it. The story that we're repeatedly telling is asking to be heard by you at a deeper place than where it's being heard. So sometimes we may think if I can just get the right empathy from somebody when I share this, if I can just find the safe space for someone to hold space for something, that may help. It absolutely can. And then there are certain things where that doesn't feel like it's enough. And we need to start kind of looking like, what is really needed here? In the moment, I might feel better telling the story because I'm kind of, getting it off my chest. I am unloading some emotion, some of the charge when I do that, but I'm not getting to the bottom of it, to the root of it, that is actually going to help me heal it. It's still getting produced and reproduced from somewhere. The charge is still, gets replaced even though I've unloaded it. And that could be because I'm believing certain thoughts and beliefs that are causing the emotion to be produced in real time. It could also be because I'm the one that needs to hold the space for this story. The story is wanting my attention. I'm the only one that was actually there for this story in many of the situations where I want to share with somebody else. And my own presence can hold the best space for this story, meaning not aspects of my own mind, but the part of me that is simply observing, the part of me that is simply the witness to all of my thoughts, experiences, emotions, sensations. This part of me that is present and aware will be able to hold the amount of space that is needed for the healing of this story. This is also where I need to hold space for the emotions that arise when I think of this story. And so if I can get into a nice, calm place, maybe try not to do anything at all, try to rest the mind so the activity of the mind can soften. I can start to access this place of calmness, this still center within me, or the silent mind. There are many ways to think about this. You may have experienced this in different ways. And from this place, I can look at the story. I can say it out loud in my head. I can write it out. And I can hold for myself space from here, which is a place of equanimity where I'm trying not to judge, and I'm trying to look at it in a neutral, objective manner and just accept and allow whatever that story was. Not that I'm trying to override feelings of resistance towards it, or if there's blocks that I have, I'm not trying to bypass those, but just trying to accept that it happened and to give this healing, loving, kind attention to it, acknowledging that it happened. Because if I'm denying the story, I'm also denying my experience. So it's a very tricky, slippery slope here, where sometimes people want to, they don't want to accept that the story happened, but simultaneously by not accepting it, they're not getting the validation also that they need that it happened. And it's tricky. So I don't want to ask you to force anything, but just see how much you're able to do comfortably. Don't force yourself, but just see, can I do it like 60%? That really happened. And I want to look at it from the point of view of the witness, which is really acknowledging from a point that transcends the mind. I'm looking at it from a higher vantage point. trying not to judge it, trying to see that it happened, and just giving it that attention. And this can actually heal. This can heal us in ways that trying to do self-talk from our ego won't be able to do as well, because then we're still at the level of the mind. We're still, mind kind of trying to fix mind. Whereas when we're in the point of view of the observer or the witness, we're in a place transcendent, higher than the mind, and it has the power to heal it in a way that is at the root, because this place wants attention. This story wants attention. That's why the story keeps being repeated. It wants attention. We have to give it the highest quality of attention that it can be satisfied with. And that is going to come from a place beyond one's own ego and another's ego. It's going to be the place where we can hold space for ourselves unconditionally, unconditional love for our experience and what we went through, which means by not judging it and just kind of giving it this loving, kind, accepting attention, the way that you would give to a friend who's telling you that something happened to them, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I hear you. I see that. I see you. And if that's hard for you, then at least just give it a neutral attention, like that of a scientist, where you're just like, okay, yeah, I see that. I feel feelings in the body as I think of that. I'm noticing it. But I ask you to try not to give it judgmental energy, judgment towards yourself or your feelings about it, because that's what keeps it stuck usually, and that's what keeps the story circulating. So I'd love to hear if you try this out. Feel free to share, and I hope it helps. I'll see you in the next video.